YouTube. This is my first video, and it's gonna be a story time about my experiences on dating apps. One is gonna come from one story is coming from Plenty of Fish, and the other three is like from Tinder. By the way, heads up, never download Plenty of Fish if you're young, cause that app is only for older people who are desperate and ugly and just weird. So his profile, I'm gonna call him R. R's profile, he looked that good as fuck. So I was like, okay, this is one of the rare gems. He like, you know, I kind of hit the jackpot, and I was like, okay, he looking good as fuck. Period. So I started texting him. First red flag was his texting skills. And I was like, there's a difference between, you can tell when a person is texting fast, you know what I'm saying? Compared to actually the grammatical skills. And like his grammatical skills is like, okay, so there's red flags there. Or whatnot. But anyway, I looked past it because I'm a nice human being, and I'm like, okay, cool. But also, don't look past red flags, because them the ones that will get you fucked up. Okay, that's what I learned from dating apps. Like, looking past red flags will get you fucked up. Okay, period. But anyway, so we was texting, I noticed that shit or whatnot. That couple days passed, right? And I asked, hey, why don't we meet up or whatnot? Oh, blah, blah, blah. We meet up at a park. Well, wait. While talking, I was asking, where, blah, 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 where you stay at? Blah, blah, blah. He said he stay on the west side of so-and-so. And I'm like, okay. You live with the white folks and shit. Okay, period. Gated community and everything. He said he had like a 2-story house. White people, rich white folks, had that little extra guest little building, where people could stay there for, like, just stay there, or little guest house, with like a toilet and kitchen and shit. He said he had one of those. He said he had a 2-story house. I think I said that. And he said he had a brand new car. Like, he said his shit was decked the fuck out. I was like, cool. He said, at first he wanted to go to a hotel, and I was like, fuck no, nigga, I just met you. You're not finna fucking R-word me. Like, you got me fucked up, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, and I was like, no, we're just gonna go to your house, and we're just gonna hang into the little guest building and whatnot. Okay. That's what the plan was. Okay. So, the day that we went to meet, like, hang out, we first met at a park. Red flag number 1, his shit was ranking, like, when I seen him pulled up, his car was ranking dang as fuck. Like, I really don't care about, like, money and shit, but, like, he was putting off, like, that he was rich and shit. And I was like, but your shit is just not matching up with the shit you just said. But okay, whatever. And whatnot. And he pulls up. He gets out. I get out. First thing first, another red flag. This bitch picking me up and touching me. After that, I don't like being touched by somebody I don't even fucking know about. Don't touch me, bitch. He touching me, and I'm like, as soon as he did that, I was like, I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to motherfucking go home. But I was like, fuck it. I'm already here. Might as well see what his house look like and shit. Motherfucker, we go pull up to his house. Nigga was capping hard as fuck. It was like an average house, It was nice, but it was no 2-story, house or nothing. I was like, okay, whatever. You capped on that. Cool. I get out of my truck because I had back then I had my truck or whatnot, and I got out. He come down like he parked his car, like he parked his car and he got out and he was waiting on me up the driveway, and I got out. Then he came down and grabbed my hand. I was like, "Nigga, you doing too much, whatever." So we head back to the guest house. Bitch, that was a fucking shed. I was like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck, Tiana? Well, anyway. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I don't have time for this bullshit. Oh, and also, this is like a little extra. His teeth was fucked up, and that's also another thing. Like, I could deal with crooked ass teeth, but like them shits were like fucked up, and shit. And also, I forgot he talked to me. I think he was mentally challenged. No cap, no on God. He was mentally challenged, cause like, as soon like, also I forgot to mention this. We did talk on the phone before then, and that also is a red flag. He sounded mentally challenged on the phone, but I was like, I'm gonna fuck it. I don't know, cause some guys do have high pitched voices and shit. And I was like, I was just being optimistic as fuck on the situation. Oh no, and I shouldn't have. But I was like, he sounded mentally challenged then on the phone. And then when I seen him, it just like, I put all this shit together, why he was capping and all that bullshit and shit. And yeah, I forgot to add that information. Shit. We over here chilling and shit in the shed. His sister came out. They rolled up the blunt one night. I was on my phone because I was already ready to go. Oh, and I was texting my friend, and then all of a sudden I get a notification from him. I'm like, you okay? You want to get on this blunt? I was like, nah. I only been there. Like, thing is, I only stayed there for like a good 30 minutes, and I lied and came up. I had to be at home before my mom get off work, or she's gonna get mad at me or whatnot. He said, I can't. I walk you to your car. And then on the way when we was walking in, he said, you want to still get a hotel? I was like, no, I'm good. I'm okay. And he said, text him or call him when I get home or whatnot. Soon as I got in the car, I blocked this bitch. I blocked his ass. I was like, I got catfish like a motherfucker. Cause his profile, he looked the cutest fuck. Don't go off of profiles, like dead ass. Like I them bitches do not look like that in person. I know. I mean, that's common sense though. I know. Camera and being in person, there's two different things. I know that, but like, I know now. I know now. You know what I'm saying? I know now. But yeah, that was the first story of Plenty Fish. My advice, don't download that when you like old as fuck and just desperate as fuck. Okay. Just don't download that like at the age of 20. Just get on Tinder, because Tinder, you don't have a better chance of looking for somebody that's better looking than good looking and shit. Oh, why not? So my second story is, this is a Tinder one. The other three is going to be about Tinder. Second story, I met this guy, Q. We hung out for only 2 times. And we started dating. After 2 hangouts, we started fucking dating. You know, it was straight. Like, we should have never dated like that fast. Because before we dated, it was all cool. We was hanging out. We was having a good ass time. But as soon as we got in a relationship, it was like, I instantly regretted saying yes, cause like as soon as he said that, I was like, bruh, I only hung out with you 2 times. What the fuck you talking about? But my mouth was like, ee! My heart was like, oh, oh, hell yeah, bitch. But yeah, like instantly regrets, instant regrets, bro. Oh, but it really like changed up like after that. Like we hung out and bullshit. Like it was kind of awkward. We just didn't get comfortable. We just didn't get comfortable. I used to go over there every chance I get when I get off of work or whatnot. We didn't do shit. We didn't do shit. The only thing we did was kiss and cuddle. We really didn't like. It was awkward because like we talked and stuff. Like we barely even talked. We barely even did any shit like anything. And I was like, yeah. Like every time I went over there, I was just like, bro, this is bad. Like we should just been friends or whatnot. But anyway, yeah. He was bisexual, unique. I wished I could. Like I feel like something good would have came out of that. Well, this is not a funny, crazy story, but it's just a regret how I came about the whole thing. I wish it was better, you know. But yeah, I wish we took our time because I feel like something could have actually came out of that. But yeah, and I fucked up the whole situation low key. But he also kind of fucked it up because he, like how it, because like now we don't even talk anymore. Cause like I broke up with him because I was like, we just moved too fast and whatnot. And then we became friends, and we was talking, and I told him that was because I left some shit over at his house, and I was just saying it like, you know, just saying it through text. I shouldn't have said it through text. And and he asked me to take him to work and shit, and I was like, nah, I'm just gonna give him shit, you know. That's how we're trying to put it off. Like I wasn't trying to have attitude about it, but I guess he did, and he started getting crazy, and I was like, well, fuck you. Cause like I was in that mood. Like that day I was like in a fucking mood, and I don't care. And we haven't talked since, so I don't know about that one. I might talk to him again, I don't know. But I feel like it could have done something. We could have popped off and had a good time. Like I already knew he was bisexual. Like that would be like, that's a completely, you know, new thing. You know, because I'm bisexual, but he thought I was straight at the time. I get out of my I don't give a fuck mood and fuck that nigga mood, and she talked to him again. But I don't know. Anyway, that's the second one. Did I say I'm doing 4 story times? I don't even remember. But it's gonna be 3. It's gonna be 3. Third one is with my current FWB. If you don't know what that means, look it up. We've been since last year or whatnot. And like the first like time we I think it was the first time or second time. I don't even remember. But we had like an experience. So we was in the car, right? It was late at night. We met up at the car wash and we was doing something at the car wash. And and I was on top of him. He was laying back on the seat. And I guess he saw somebody behind us, and he jumped up, and like we both just scrambled getting our clothes on and whatnot. And then he pulled up, like there's like a little. He pulled up, and the car was still there, so he just pulled off and whatnot. Next thing you know, we were just driving down the road trying to see if he gonna turn off or whatnot. No, this nigga did not turn off. It was a white guy. He was in a Malibu or whatnot. Well, we didn't know that at the time, but I'm just gonna tell you, it was a white guy in a Malibu. So we pulled up. Well, we were driving down the road. We see that, we noticed that he's still following us and shit. And we're like, what the fuck? Okay. So he started speeding up and shit. Next thing you know, we in a fucking chase. We trying to lose this nigga and shit. We going down like fucking back roads and shit. and shit. And we lost him at one point, but his car, my FWB car, was too slow. And caught back up and he's chasing this shit, and I'm in the back seat laughing and shit, recording off of Snapchat like, hey y'all, we getting chased. This nigga mad as fuck, like, take this shit serious, bitch. We about to die, bitch. And I'm like, nigga, if he was going to kill us, he would have shot the back of your windows out. He would have shot something. Like, he would have popped off on our ass, and we wouldn't even be in this situation right now. Like, come on. But anyway, it lasted about like a good 20 minutes. I was like scared, but then I was like not scared because like he would have done something sooner. You know, like 2 minutes in, he would have done something. So the chase in, like, on a dark road or whatnot, we stopped. I was in the back seat. We both stopped. The white guy, he pulled up beside us, and we both let down the window. He's like, first thing first, this nigga talk about who they in the car, who they in the car, who they in the car. I'm like, who the fuck you talking to, bitch? Like, you chasing us. Like, bitch, we're black and you're white. We over here like, fuck nah, nigga. You trying to kill us or some shit. Like, this isn't a country. Mind y'all, I live in Mississippi, and like, there's still like racial shit. Like, yeah, you know, Mississippi, the South, of course, racism and shit. That's what we thinking. This nigga about to kill us because we like two black people up in this fucking car. This bitch talking about who they and shit. And shit. And we're like, what the fuck you talking about? And like, what the fuck? We just yelling, what the fuck wrong with you? Why you following us and shit? Like, what the fuck? Nigga, what the fuck wrong with you? Weirdo, weird ass motherfucker. Sorry, I'm cussing a lot, but anyway. that's how what we were saying. So yeah, he was like, never mind. Then he pulled off down the road. And then it looked like he pulled off down the road and like he stopped and turned off his lights and shit. And I was like, yeah, okay. Weird ass motherfucker. So we drove, we pulled off, and he pulled up. I guess that was his house, I think. And he got his gun, and then we started patrolling the area to see if he was like following us or some shit and shit. But yeah, that was a crazy ass night. I went home and I was like, yo, I was awful. I wasn't even mad or upset or cried or just scared. I was like, hey. Like, bro, this shit really happened. Like, and I went home. I went to sleep. But yeah, we talked about it the next day. He was kind of said like, girl, we're gonna fucking die and bullshit. I'm like, nigga, shut up. We was gonna die anyway. But yeah, that's all 3 of my stories. Oh, never mind. We do got 4 stories. Never mind. I'm about to close this fucking video off, but we do got 4 stories. This is recently, and it's kind of shortish, kind of, you know, whatnot. But this is one, this girl named, I don't even know her name, so we just gonna call her by what I seen on Tinder. Her name is Keisha. Okay, so she texted me, hey, cutie, and then she sent me her number, which was a red flag, like, off the bat. Like, who sends their number, like, instantly, like, yeah, this bitch got a whole bunch of red flags, by the way. A whole bunch of red flags. A lot. Okay, so we started texting off my phone and whatnot, and she was like, blah, 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 what you like to do and shit, like, blah, 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 like, sexually and stuff. And I was like, this, and that. And then she said, and then out of nowhere, she said, text this person named Jimmy. But his real name started with an M, so we're going to call him M. So she wanted me, apparently this was a fucking sugar daddy. She got a whole bunch of sugar daddies and shit. This bitch crazy as fuck, okay? In the store. Right there. Not actually in the store, but like, point blank period. This bitch is crazy as fuck, bro. Like, anyway. She wanted me to text him and ask him, she wanted me to meet up with him so he can eat my pussy. Like, tell you what, this nigga is like 6'2", 200 and something pounds. I'm not finna meet up with this bitch. She pretty much wanted to pimp. At some point, she tried to pimp me. At some point, she tried to pimp me. Okay. And she wanted me to text him to ask him to send her some money and cuss him out. Like, bitch, she said, bitch, tell him that I will beat his ass and shit if he don't send him money and blah 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 this. And then I was like, okay, this bitch is crazy and shit. Like, and she said, if you want to make a money, you should go meet him and let him eat your pussy and let him, you know. Well, let me not say pussy, because let me not use the P word, because, like, that is not good. I'm sorry, YouTube. I did not mean to say that. I'm just so hyped. I'm sorry. But, yeah, and whatnot, and I was like, no, I'm good. I just want to meet up with you and hang out with you and shit. Okay. When I blah, blah, blah. That's already red flags right there. But then she started sending me. And then another red flag, this bitch randomly just started sending me videos and pictures of herself naked and playing with herself and stuff. And I was like, you're a thought. You a thought. And I bet your pussy, your private areas is hot fire right now. I bet it is. I bet. But yeah, and then that ended. Okay. Then a couple days later, or the next day, I don't remember. And she asked me again to meet up with this nigga. And I was like, why you want me to meet up with him? Like, why I'm doing this and blah 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 this. She said she's in Atlanta and she's trying to get back home. And I'm like, why you just get a round trip if you knew you didn't you know what I'm saying? Like, why you just get a round ticket if you knew you didn't have enough money to get back? Or why can't you pop the cooter cat down there so you can get some money? Like, you know. And then I still had number. Oh, and he over here texting me, you still want to link up and blah blah blah. I'm like, no, nigga, no. But yeah, like, she was crazy. She was trying to pimp me. She literally trying to pimp me so she can get her tail back home. I was like, nah, sis. And then she said she just kept begging me to go and meet this nigga, and I was like, no, dog, I'm not doing that. I don't even know you, ma'am. I don't even know you, ma'am. But she was cute though. But like, she was crazy. She was asking for too much. She also offered me to do a threesome with a random chick, and she sent me videos of her doing a nigga. She sent me videos of her playing with herself. She sent me videos of her just prancing around in our house naked. And I still got the messages to this day on my phone. And yeah. She's crazy, y'all. Like, that girl got issues. Issues. But now it's the end of my video, my little story time and my experience off of dating apps. I hope you enjoy. Peace. Kawaii. Peace.